Celestial salutations, I'm M, first you'll get the sugar cipher, and this month's TFWIKI picture update is a bit of a you got your peanut butter and my chocolate deal. We're looking at the combination of two of my favorite things in Transformers this month, Minicons and Japanese candy toys. I did a YouTube short about a Transformers candy toy a little bit back. I won't object if you want to go take a look at that one. Can't wait, feed the algorithm beast. But I feel like I should elaborate here. Candy toys are, well, toys sold with candy. That's kind of the long and short of it. I apologize to everyone who wanted robots made out of candy, but, well, that's not always a good idea. Obviously, this concept is nothing exclusive to Japan. Kinder is all over the globe in various forms. But, well, the Japanese candy toy scene is on a whole nother level. Just the scope of the market is huge, with popular media series and wholly original toy lines in the space. And broadly, the emphasis is way the dang more on the toys rather than the candy part. Candy toys can range from things like packs of stickers, trading cards, charms, little figurines, and mini model kits that only cost a couple bucks, to way more elaborate and costly items like statuettes and fully painted, fully posable action figures, some of which are actually split up among multiple boxes. The candy content of these purchases? Maybe a single sugar wafer, a packet of sugar or caramel pellets, a single piece of gum. But that food stuff makes them grocery items, thus sold in grocery and convenience stores without the sales taxes nominally placed on toys in Japan. In Transformers, candy toys are usually the former type, pretty cheap pocket money purchases. They generally fall under two types, non-posable figurines, and far more frequently, miniature model kits of fully transformable toys using stickers for deco, even if sometimes they got a parts form to work and the plastic quality is, well, you get what you pay for. But sometimes a Transformers candy toy goes that little bit further, and you get a fully assembled, fully painted, transformable toy that works perfectly alongside your normal Transformers. And we'll be looking at one of those lines today, Kabaya's Change Micron series for The Legend of Microns, Takara's version of 2002's Armada series. Takara went absolutely nuts for Minicons in 2003. And so did I. Thus they turned to longtime licensing partner Kabaya, who've been making Transformers candy toys since 1985, to release individually boxed versions of the four combining Minicon teams, packed with a small baggie of fizzy Ramune candy. They were released in two waves of 6, with the first wave including the Radical Street Action team, who combine into the robot Bumble, aka Perceptor. And at first you're looking at that and going, okay, and yeah, fair. Does look the same at first, doesn't it? But this isn't just a re-released Takara toy. All of the Change Micron toys are actually entirely new toolings based on the original designs. A side-by-side shows a lot of little differences between the two in proportion and detailing, but there's more noticeable differences once you look at the individuals. Wheelie, aka Highwire, has a red faceplate instead of the normal version's white, which actually makes this toy more show-accurate than the original since the cartoon model has a red faceplate. However, the other two, the paint changes are more that they're missing paint in places, which is usually how these toys go. Bank, aka Grinder, is missing the yellow paint on a skateboard mode's textured sections. And RC, aka Sure Shock, is missing the yellow paint on her fog lights. Also, wow, is that face paint dark. Like, way more dark than the original. Ooh. The changes get a lot more dramatic with the Kabaya Air Defense team, as seen with Shuttler here, aka Sonar. All of this team's transparent plastic has been replaced with opaque white, which does make me feel a lot better about handling these toys. I have far too many Transformers with cracked clear plastic joints. Full show, why? Plus the detail just pops more in white. But while he feels less fragile, there's a mild trade-off in that the plastic quality isn't quite that of a regular Transformer. Plus, the right ankle on mine is pretty floppy. Unfortunately, I don't have any more of this team right now. I kinda lucked into Sonar forever ago, and while the demand for Kabaya Microns isn't huge in general, the relative scarcity mixed with the change to a color many people find more appealing than the standard release means they currently ain't cheap. Someday. The second wave of Change Microns brought us the Race and Space teams, and as we look at the Race team's combined Cosmotector mode, known in the Hasbroverse as the Skyboom Shield, knowing what you now know, you can probably see where some of the changes are, right? The obvious omission here is the rally tamper, as demonstrated by Drift, aka Dirt Boss, who's lost his rally numbers on the doors. Those more complex paint operations cost more, so away they go. Spin, aka Downshift, has lost his rally number as well, but he also loses out on a lot of his extra blue detailing on his fists and ankles. The general theme is that Kabaya dropped the extra detailing while maintaining the most vital ones, like face paint. And then we come to Indy, aka Mirage, who loses the silver on his seat and wheels, but then, like Wheelie, gains more show-accurate deco in the face. In this case, where the original has his entire face painted red, Kabaya only put red on the face mask, while the sculpted eyes are painted yellow against a field of unpainted black. Just like his cartoon model. This is the only toy of this character to have that eye paint like that. Neat. We're going to jump ahead here a little bit as I lack the Candy Toy Space Team at the Mo, and look at Kabaya's other set of minicons from 2005's Galaxy Force, Takara's take on Cybertron. The Micron Galaxy series was just a whopping 4 toys, this time sold with a plank of chewing gum that tastes like trying to remember what lemon flavor tastes like. And like the Change Microns, they were new toolings based on the originals with loads of little detail differences. But unlike Change Micron, these did not skimp on the paint, at least in ways you'd actually notice without taking a second or third look. I did pictures of 3 of these: Hop, aka Jolt, Bumper, aka Reverb, and Blit, aka 6-Speed, a long time back. So honestly, I'm way overdue to complete the set with this pick of Roots, aka Safeguard, who's a great example of how Kabaya trimmed the paint budget in ways that didn't negatively affect their appearance, and actually improved it here. The original toy's nose cone was cast in reddish-brown plastic as he was built directly into the mold layouts of his larger partner, Vector Prime, which meant that part needed to be almost entirely painted over to match the rest of his body. But since the Candy Toy version is all new independent tooling, it can be cast in whatever color they need it to be, and so can the black joint connecting it to the body. So here, they're both gray plastic, resulting in a much more cohesive deco for the little guy. Kabaya used the same tactic for Hop, casting him in red plastic rather than green plastic painted over as the Takara and Hasbro releases are. Savings! Oh, and just to be clear, this comparison pick is using the Hasbro release of Safeguard, which was a much brighter off-white than the gray tone of the Takara version, which Kabaya Roots obviously matches. So there's a little sampler box of the wide world of Transformers candy toys for you. Personally, I dig finding all the little changes between different releases of ostensibly the same toy. But there are a lot more Transformers candy toys, including some entirely new designs and characters. Would you like to have a look at those? Are there any in particular that you're very keen on? Let me know in the comments. And if you appreciate these little history hors d'oeuvres, give a like and subscribe, and chomp down on that bell. You can also tip your waitstaff via my Patreon, which offers the chance to pick a monthly theme. Thanks again for indulging my appetites, and see you again next month with another look at the smorgasbord of Transformers toy history.